So guys, we are going to see what and why of Big Data and Hadoop. So guys, what happens suddenly? Big data has become very big buzzword in the industry. There is a data explosion. If I give you a figure by IBM, that is every day we create 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. 2.5 quintillion bytes, huge. You can imagine huge volume of data. Let me help you in imagining this data volume. 2.5 million emails sent every second. Few statistics what we are doing. 375 megabyte data consumed by households each day. 20 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute. Now you can imagine why there is a data explosion, why there is 2.5 quintillion bytes of data is getting generated every day. 24 petabytes data per day is processed by Google. It's huge, 25 petabytes. Let's go to some other statistics. 50 million tweets are tweeted every day on the Twitter. There are 700 billion total minutes spent on Facebook every month. 1.3 exabytes data sent and received by mobile internet users. Now guys, this is huge. Means if these are the big sources of big data, and if we sum up all these sources, you can imagine, you can understand the volume that is getting generated. Let me read the last statistics also. 72.9 items are ordered on Amazon per second. You can imagine the volume that is getting generated. So guys, there is one more statistics. The data available on the planet, if say for example from the day of its inception till today, if we see the data available on the planet, out of that the total data, 90% of the data has been generated in just last 2 years. Now you can imagine the data growth is exponential. The data growth is not linear with time, it is exponential with time. So according to Oracle, data is growing at 40% compound annual rate, and it is going to reach nearly 45 zettabytes. That's huge in 2020, by 2020. So you can see guys, currently the volume is around 5 petabytes, 5 zettabytes, and by 2020 it would be 45 zettabytes. So guys, we understand data, big data as a volume. Say for example, if I am having 1 petabyte of data, that's a big data. If I am having 100 zettabytes of data, that is a big data. But big data is not only just about volume. We understand big data, big volume clearly, but there are a number of different dimensions of the big data. That's essence of big data. The very first dimension, that's volume. That is data at rest. What do I mean by data at rest? This data has already arrived to your data center. You are having terabytes to exabytes of data that's existing in your data center, that is already there, that's not traveling. That's why it is called data at rest. So guys, although it is data at rest, but it requires innovative form of solution. It requires innovative form of solution to process this huge volume of data. As we all know, none of the legacy system can support this huge volume of data. But this is very easy dimension. Let's talk about other dimension. Velocity. That is data in motion. Now guys, just imagine your data is flowing. Your data is streaming. And during that time, you need to analyze the data. What do I mean by that? Let me take a very nice use case, very popular use case. All of us, we are using credit card. So how much time it takes to do a transaction using credit card? Merely few seconds, 5 seconds at max. Now guys, just understand, during that 5 seconds, data need to travel from client system. That client will enter the details, client will enter the password, and he will press enter, submit. Data will go to transaction system to check the validity of the data. Now it is not just about the validity of user ID and password. Credit card transactions are getting validated. They are getting checked whether this transaction is fraudulent or not. What do I mean by that? Say for example, at any particular day at 9 AM in the morning, if I am doing a transaction from Mumbai, and just after 2 minutes from the same credit card there is a transaction from Chennai. There is something fishy, there is something wrong. This transaction should be stopped. Nobody can travel from Mumbai to Chennai in 2 minutes. So guys, the data need to move from transaction system to analytics system, where this data will be analyzed. This data will be analyzed with the fraudulent patterns, with the user's buying history, and then only it will be validated. Now let's understand the complete cycle. I am having just few seconds in which data is traveling from client to transaction system, and then data is going back to my analytics system, and I am having few seconds. Now this is, as we are millions of credit card users are there, huge velocity of the data is coming, very huge volume and velocity. Now guys, now imagine the volume, the complete volume that is coming with very high velocity. We need to process in real time, in milliseconds. We are just having milliseconds to respond. If we are taking say 10 seconds, 15 seconds, we are out of the picture. That's the velocity. Velocity is one of the most important dimension in the big data. Now, again, very important dimension is the variety. What do I mean by variety? Varieties of data are there. Like there are 3 forms broadly: structured, semi-structured, unstructured. Structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. These are the broadly 3 forms of the data. What do I mean by structure? Structured data means the data that can be stored in the rows and columns in RDBMS. That is purely structured data. What about semi-structured? Semi-structured data are the data that can be easily converted into structured format. That is XML data. Very simple example. JSON data. But what about unstructured data? A free form of text, a paragraph, image, multimedia, video, post to your social media, all comes under unstructured data. Now guys, there is an interesting thing behind this unstructured data. According to IBM, more than 80% of the data generated today is unstructured. Now what is interesting? Interesting thing is that none of the system on this planet, I'm talking about conventional system, not big data system. None of the conventional system can hold this unstructured data. This unstructured data was simply stored on the disk on the OS file system. But now you'll ask me why today people are processing this unstructured data. Because there is a huge competition in the market. There is a huge competition in the market. Apart from that, analytics has reached to new heights. Yesterday we were not able to process this unstructured data, but today we can. And we can find out pretty important patterns out of that, pretty important insights out of that unstructured data as well. We'll discuss about the same in the use cases section. Let's talk about the fourth dimension, that is veracity. This veracity, although it is a very minor dimension, but little important. Why? Guys, this dimension will come into the picture in case of unstructured data. What veracity means? It means data in doubt. What do I mean by that? There is a little bit uncertainty in the data. There is a little bit inconsistency in the data. Data might be incomplete. Data might be ambiguous. So guys, we might get dirty data. And in real picture, real scenario, we are actually getting the dirty data. Whatever type of data is entering to my data center, I must have to clean that data. I must have to pre-process the data. So guys, in the data warehousing industry, this cleaning of the data is called pre-processing. Your complete data, whether that is of any form, is always getting pre-processed to check whether that data is clean or not. And accordingly, it will go into its final warehouse. So guys, broadly, these are the four dimensions. Let's understand examples of big data generation. The very first example, guys, we know Walmart is the leader in the retail. Walmart is having 200 million weekly customers across 10,700 stores in 27 countries. It is having 1.5 million customer transactions every hour. Now guys, you can imagine the volume of data it is generating. The volume of data Walmart is generating, it's huge. Walmart is having 3 petabytes of data stored in its Hadoop cluster. If it is having 3 petabytes of data, now you can imagine how the volume it is having and the analytics it is doing on the data. Now we'll discuss about the same thing in the use case section, that what type of interesting analytics that we can do in the retail perspective. One more example. Guys, understand this carefully. I'll ask one question after this. So guys, one Boeing plane engine generates 20 TB of data for every hour of flying. One Boeing plane engine generates 20 terabyte of data for every hour of flying. Now question to all of you. How much data do all the flights in this world generate? I'm repeating the question. How much data do all the flights in this world generate every year if there are 100,000 two-engine flights daily? I'm giving you 30 seconds to answer this question. Okay, I'm getting few answers, but the answers are in the range of petabytes. It's very less. Okay, let me answer. Let me show you the actual answer. Guys, the answer is 6,000 exabytes. 6,000 exabytes or 6 million petabytes. Now you can imagine the volume. This is the real volume that is getting generated. Now, Let me give you a real use case and real story. We all know about that Malaysian flight that went in thin air. Nobody knows what happened to that flight. So now airline industries are planning to collect this data in real time. Now imagine 6 million petabytes of data will be collected every year. And not only collected, it will be processed in real time so that they'll come to know if there is any issue and they can take immediate action. Okay, let's go ahead. So guys, I have added intentionally this slide that what are the conventional approaches. So before the big data came into the picture, what were the approaches, what were the systems where people were storing the data, and what was the issue with those systems so that big data came into picture. For the storage, we were using RDBMS. RDBMS were quite mature and quite nice technology to store the structured data. We all are quite aware of Oracle, DB2, MySQL, etc. For storage of unstructured data, we usually store this data in OS file system. What about processing? So for the processing of data in RDBMS, we use SQL queries that are pretty standard queries, and for unstructured data, we need to use custom framework. So 90% of the client I have seen C is the very popular option, or Perl for the parsing is very popular option. So guys, when in 80s this RDBMS came into the market, it was a very big achievement of IT. At the time, everybody, before that we were storing the data in some sort of object databases, some sort of file systems and all, but RDBMS has changed the picture. And RDBMS was successfully fulfilling our requirement till mid 2005, roughly 2005. But when Google came into the picture, when internet came into the picture, when e-commerce came into the picture, and social media came into the picture, the requirement of data handling is increased like anything. What do I mean by that? The volume that we are generating today, the example that I have given to you, RDBMS can't store that data. RDBMS even can't handle that data because they are not developed to handle big data problems. They are very good for the transitions. They are very good for OLTP. So when somebody tries to put them into big data, there are lots of issues with these legacy systems. What are those issues? Let's talk about the problems with the conventional approaches. What are the actual problems with the conventional approaches? I'm sure guys, many of you have already faced these issues. While discussing these problems, I'll give you few use cases, few examples that I have faced personally while interacting with my clients. The very first issue is the limited storage capacity. Guys, let me take a popular RDBMS example, that's Oracle. Since Oracle can be installed on a single machine, there is a certain upper cap. I can't store data more than that upper cap. A typical Oracle system can handle few TBs of data on very big master machine. We can't imagine more than few TB. Let me give you an example, guys. A leading telecom operator in India, they were able to store only last 6 months of data in their repositories. In their repository, they can only store last 6 months of the data, but whatever data that was older than 6 months, they need to archive the data. It's a big issue. Why? Because they were getting the consistent requirement from the client, from their business, that their business want report from the data that is older than 6 months. Might be 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, like that. Very big issue. Limited processing capacity. Again, big issue. Since Oracle is working on single machine, some of the reports from that telecom operator only was taking 5 hours to process, to generate that report. I'll show you one more use case about this limited processing capacity in use cases section, and I'll also show you how big data solve that problem very easily. No scalability. Legacy systems can't be scaled horizontally. We can't add more resources on the fly. There is no provision for the same. Although we can add few disks at max, but that's also not in real time. Single point of failure. So guys, if your operational database ODS goes down, your Oracle machine goes down, you do not have any way that you can access any alternative machine. There are a few ways, but that's very, very costly. Only 2 to 5% people are using that. Sequential processing. If a legacy system, if Oracle is installed on a single machine, how I can get 2 parallel processing? Not possible. RDBMS can handle only structured data. What about unstructured data? More than 80% of the data is unstructured. Now, it requires pre-processing of the data. Guys, pre-processing of the data is a standard procedure, but it is recommended in the industry. It is recommended by the veterans. It is recommended by the data scientists. You should always store, you should always keep the backup of raw data, because there are very high chances to lose the data, to lose the patterns in the processed data, because information is collected from according to current business needs. Suppose if today I am not having that requirement, I might lose the data, I might lose a specific pattern. And guys, from the data scientist, it has observed that more than 80% cases, there was some data loss has been done due to pre-processing. So, by the way, if I talk about the telecom industry, from the government, there is a rule that they need to store the raw data as it is, so that if in future if there is any suspicious case comes, suspicious issue, say terrorist or related or some security related issue come, they will just take the raw data. What is the solution? Now guys, when I show you the solution, that is Big Data Hadoop, when I show you the architecture, when I show you the characteristics, from just characteristics of Hadoop, all these problems will automatically resolve. We'll discuss the same. Now guys, before entering into world of Hadoop, let me tell you an interesting story why Hadoop is called Big Data. By the way guys, let me clearly tell you, Big Data and Hadoop are different things. Big Data is the name of a problem that I am having this huge volume of data, and Hadoop is the solution. Hadoop is the solution for the same. Hadoop is, even I should say, one of the solution for Big Data. But why? Why today Big Data and Hadoop are synonymous to each other? Because guys, more than 95% of the Big Data users are using Hadoop to solve their problem. Hadoop and Big Data has become synonymous to each other. Hadoop is targeted as, even in just by 2015, you are going to see a new term in the market, that's data operating system. That data operating system will be none other than Hadoop. Let's start Hadoop. What is Hadoop? Now guys, understand this carefully. Our Hadoop session starts now. It is an open source project from Apache Software Foundation. Now you'll ask me, open source thing, how we can use in the enterprise? So guys, Hadoop is not only coming in open source flavor, it is coming in proprietary form also from IBM, MapR, Cloudera, Yahoo, that's Hortonworks, EMC's Pivotal. These all are the enterprise version of Hadoop. But interesting thing is that since its source code is open, you can modify the source code according to your requirement. Let me share you a recent story. Actually, while interacting with one of my clients, one of the leading retailer, so we got a issue that certain functionality of Hadoop was not fulfilling our requirement. What we did, we simply downloaded the source code, changed that according to our requirement, and deployed with our project. That's it. That's the beauty of open source. By the way, guys, I am the part of that open source community. I have contributed few modules in the same. Hadoop is a software framework. It is not just a small tool, or it's not a software. It is a software framework for distributing and running applications on cluster of servers. Now guys, let me explain you each and every term in little detail. Hadoop works on cluster of server. What do I mean by cluster? Cluster means multiple machines connected together via network. And Hadoop works in the fashion of distributing. It is a distributed processing framework. I'll explain you in just next slide, then architecture diagram, how it is distributing the work. So instead of running on single machine, it is running on cluster by distributing the work to complete cluster. Hadoop is inspired by Google's MapReduce programming model as well as Google file system. So guys, when Doug Cutting and his team was working on the nuts search engine at Apache, there was a paper published by Google, and they got the similar requirement that with the nuts they also need a similar thing called MapReduce or Google file system, and that is how the journey of Hadoop has started. That is where the Hadoop has started. But guys, Hadoop was initially the sub project of Nudge, but due to its power and popularity, soon Hadoop became the top level project. Now you'll ask me why Hadoop has that much popular. Because guys, Hadoop is developed by the top notch talent in the industry. That's maximum of Hadoop code is contributed from Facebook, Yahoo, IBM, Cloudera. Hadoop is open source framework written in Java. So guys, Hadoop is totally developed in Java. But it doesn't mean that you can code only in Java. You can code in C, C++, Perl, Python, Ruby, Groovy, etc. But it's recommended from experts that you should code in Java so that you will be having lower level control over your complete code, complete execution. Hadoop efficiently processes large volumes of data on a cluster of commodity hardware. Now guys, it is very important. It is again another important point in why Hadoop is that much popular, due to its feature that you can deploy commodity hardware. It means you can install Hadoop on commodity hardware. What is commodity hardware? Low cost machine, like your i3, i5 machine. You can deploy Hadoop in production also on the commodity hardware, on low-end machines. On the low-end machine also, it efficiently processes large volume of data in the range of petabytes, zettabytes. Now guys, as again and again we are discussing, Hadoop works on cluster, but it doesn't mean that it can't work on single machine. Hadoop can be set up on single machine, but real power of Hadoop comes with a cluster of machines. It can scale from single machine to thousands of nodes on the fly. Now guys, frankly speaking, none of the system in the world is giving that guarantee. That is, on the fly you can scale your cluster from one node to thousands. On the fly means without any downtime. Hadoop consists of two key parts. The very first part is the HDFS, that is Hadoop Distributed File System, and the second part is the MapReduce. Hadoop Distributed File System, as the name is suggesting, file system, yes, It is the file system of Hadoop, that is the storage layer of Hadoop. And MapReduce is the processing layer of Hadoop. Let's firstly understand the basic architecture of Hadoop, that how exactly Hadoop cluster looks like. So guys, Hadoop works in master and slave fashion. It means there is a master, there is one or more masters, and there will be thousands of these slaves. There will be thousands of these slaves. Now guys, understand this carefully. When users submit any work, that is, if user want to process any data, he will submit an algorithm. Master in turn submit the same algorithm to all the slaves. And these slaves will be processing that data. These slaves will be doing that work. So guys, in very simple term, if I say, user has submitted a work to master, master has submitted the one part of the work to slave 1, one part to slave 2, one part to slave 3, and so on. So if I am having 100 machines in the cluster, the speed will be 100 times faster than a single machine, because 100th work will be done by the slave 1, 100th by the slave 2, 100th by the slave 3, and so on. So guys, you can take analogy. Say for example, one person building a home versus 100% building a home. It would be that much fast. You'll ask me, what is the work of master? Master's work is for the coordination. He's just the master. He won't really work. Master doesn't do any work. Instead, he take the work from the slaves. It's like your manager and the employees, developers, like that. Master's work is to manage, maintain, and assign work to the slaves. Now there is a secondary master for the backup of master, and there can be hot standby of master can also be done. Let's move to HDFS. HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System. Hadoop Distributed File System is as the name is suggesting, it is a distributed file system. It means the file system is distributed across multiple machines. So guys, HDFS, by the way, is world's most fault tolerant file system. What do I mean by fault tolerant? Now guys, if I go back to the architecture, now I'm having a small question. I'm having 100 machines in this cluster, 100 slaves in the cluster. Now I'm saying at any point of time there is a chance that this highlighted machine goes down. Suppose there was power failure in this machine. Now tell me, what will happen to the rest 99 slaves? Will they become unfunctional? Will they become of no use? The answer is no. If a machine or few machine goes down, still there won't be any data loss. There will be no data loss if a certain number of machine goes down, and that itself is a configurable. You can increase the factor. That's why it is called fault tolerant. It is distributed, reliable, scalable file system for data storage. Now guys, a very important point, although I'll explain the same point via some animations also. HDFS stores multiple copies of data on different machines. Now how exactly? It split up the files into blocks. Say for example, I am having a big file, it will divide that file into block. By default, the block size is 64 MB, and that file will be stored across multiple machines. Let me show you the same. Why this animation? Suppose guys I am having this large file. This is a very huge file. Suppose the size of this file is 100 terabytes. Now if I want to store this file in Hadoop cluster, firstly this file will be divided into small blocks. Yes, block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4 and so on. The size of each and every block is by default 64 MB. Now these blocks will be moved to the slaves. Look at this the animation. You can see block 1 goes to this slave. Block 2 goes to this slave. Block 3 goes to this slave and so on. Yes guys, a single file divided into n number of blocks and blocks are distributedly stored. So you can imagine one file is stored on the 100 machine. This is the funda how HDFS works. Now this is not just it is storing the distributed distributed copy of the data, but it also stores multiple copy of the data. Look at this. Block 1 is stored on this slave as well as this slave. Block 2 on this slave as well as this slave. And same for all the blocks. So guys, by default 3 copies of each and every block is stored on Hadoop on HDFS. Now you can recall my previous concept, what I told. If at any point of time any machine goes down, say for example at any point of time this highlighted machine goes down, block 1 will be accessible from this machine. In this manner Hadoop is very, very highly fault tolerant. Let's move ahead. So guys, this is the basic architecture of HDFS. Although we'll discuss this architecture in great detail in our actual sessions, but let me quickly tell you. This yellow boxes are our slaves. And this is the master. Master is also called as name node. Slaves are also called as data node. Now guys, master stores metadata. That is data about the data. That is corresponding to the file ABC. What are all the blocks? Where are all the blocks corresponding to file ABC is stored? Replication factor, name and all. Slave related configurations, etc. Client can interact with the name node to know about where the data is stored. Once it gets information from the name node, it will directly read the data from data node. Similar for the write, client need to interact with the name node to get the location where it need to write. Then it will directly write to those slaves. Let's move ahead. What is MapReduce? So guys, MapReduce is the heart of Hadoop. Hadoop is that much popular. Hadoop is that much popular. Hadoop is that much powerful due to MapReduce. MapReduce is a programming model designed for processing of large volumes of data in the range of petabytes, zettabytes. In parallel, data is processed in parallel, distributedly over the cluster. By dividing, now guys, this is important point that I was discussing with you. By dividing the work into set of independent tasks. A big work is given to machine, to Hadoop cluster, but it will be divided into small sub-work, sub-task, and each and every slave will be doing a part of the work. That's the beauty of MapReduce. Now let me read one more definition for you, then we'll see the actual animation, how exactly the MapReduce is that much distributedly process the data. MapReduce is paradigm for distributed processing of large data set over a cluster of nodes. Okay, let's understand this same definition via this animation. So guys, in the previous figure we have seen how data is stored on HDFS. So we have seen file was divided into blocks and blocks are stored distributedly over the cluster. These same blocks are available B1, B2, B3, B4 and so on. Now user will come again and it will say, boss, I have submitted my file. According to user, it is a file. User will say, I have given you a file name abc.txt. I want to process the same file using this algorithm. So user will develop a MapReduce job. User will develop a MapReduce job and he will submit the MapReduce job to master. Let me run this animation once again. User needs to develop a MapReduce job. User needs to develop its algorithm, his code in MapReduce framework, and he will submit the same to master. Now, master is having metadata. So master will come to know, okay, where are my all the blocks stored? Master will say, okay, yes, block 1 is here, block 2 is here, block 3 is here, block 4 is here. So master will send 4 copies of this code to the 4 machines. Look at this. Block 1 is getting processed by this MapReduce code, same MapReduce code on this slave. Block 2 will be processed on this slave. Block 3 will be processed on this slave, and so on. So guys, in this manner, the data will be processed distributedly. In this manner, data will be processed distributedly. So guys, it is a brief overview about HDFS and MapReduce. Let's understand why Hadoop, why big data, why big data analysis. We'll walk through with some use cases, real use cases, what people are exactly doing in the industry. So guys, regarding why big data and Hadoop, there is a huge competition in the market. Say for example, if we see the example of e-commerce, there are everyday new e-commerce are coming. If we talk about retailers, there are hundreds of retailers, telcos, hundreds. So guys, there is a huge competition in the market. Apart from that, analytics has reached to new heights. Today we can answer the questions that was not answerable yesterday. Like, guys, yesterday, previously, if I talk about till 2006 to 2007, mainly analytics was historical. It means, if I talk in terms of retail, analytics means what was my sales, historical analytics, what was my sales last year, last 10 years, last 6 months, last Diwali, last Christmas. What was my sales? So they were getting their sales figure. Okay, business was getting their sales figure. Yes, this was the sale in say 2011 in this particular region, and they can get the sales time wise, they can get the sales region wise, store wise and all. But today analytics has reached to new heights. Today I can answer the question, what will be my sales next year? What will be my sales next Diwali, next Christmas? Now guys, if I can answer these type of questions, now imagine how much early decision a business can take. A business can take early decisions that, okay, this will be the sales, say for example, for product XYZ, this many items will be sold. So accordingly he can purchase those items, he can call those items from the inventories, and he can keep those items ready. Let me share a very interesting use case, that a project that I was doing with one of the leading retailer here in India. So guys, I got a requirement, if we can make the store customer friendly. So the retailer want that if we can analyze their historical data and find out few patterns via which we can make this user friendly, make his stores user friendly. Now guys, there is an interesting theory, there is a human tendency that if I want to purchase product X, say for example I want to purchase bread, and I see that bread in front of my eyes, I'll purchase that immediately. The probability that I'll purchase bread will be very high if I see that in front of my eyes. If I need to search the bread here and there, the probability will decrease. So guys, what we did, we analyze users buying pattern. Say for example, what are the products that users are buying together? If a user is buying milk and butter, what is the probability that user will buy bread also? If the probability is very high, I'll put these three items together. By analyzing clients' last 10 years data, we have come up with few patterns that okay, these items we should put together. These are the related items that usually buys together. Now guys, when we implemented the same thing, the store has observed 24% increase in the sales. That's a big achievement. That's really big achievement. We got a very big appreciation note from the client for the same. So guys, not only the analytics related to sales, analytics related to customers are also going currently in the industry. Say for example, at any point of time you enter in the store, store owner, you'll get a message. Say for example, the same thing has been implemented at the Walmart. If you are entering in the store, you'll get a personalized offer for you. Say for today you are having an offer for product X, there is a 10% off for you based on your buying pattern, based on your historical purchase. So guys, currently the offers are going that are running in the industry are highly content driven, are highly user driven. Travel industry, it is very interesting use case that even one of my team is developing. If I am traveling from Mumbai to Delhi and I am having one app installed, that is was a travel guide app. If I am going nearby a museum, I'll get a pop-up. There is a nice museum nearby. At lunchtime, I'll get a pop-up that there is a nice restaurant nearby. Time to time, I'll get a pop-up that there is a petrol pump nearby. So guys, in this manner, the travel industries are identifying, recording the travel pattern of the customer, and they are providing the relevant advertisements. Websites. By websites, I mean e-commerce. E-commerce are very much interested in understanding the user's navigation pattern. Like, what is the entry page of user, whether he is coming from Facebook or Google? What is his entry page? Whether he is landing into the mobile section or laptop section. What is his interest? Say for example, if he is watching a Dell laptop, then he went to HP, then he went to some other brand. What is his complete navigation on my website? What is his exit page? Whether that guy is converted or not. By analyzing such navigation pattern, currently guys, there is a highly content driven recommendations are provided to the user. Now I'm sure you have observed that if you are using Flipkart, there is a product you might like or recommended for you. That is highly content driven. For you it is different, for me it is different. Okay, we'll discuss these use cases in great detail in actual sessions. Let's move ahead as we are running out of time. Another big sources of data or very important source of data is sensors, satellites, geospatial data. Now guys, if we talk about the story 5 years ago, We were not capable to find out whether there is a cyclone or any earthquake is coming. But today we came to know. Say for example, Hudud was about to hit India. We came to know in advance and we evacuated that place. This is because of big data. The complete data that is generated by the sensors and satellite has been processed by big data, and even we got the location. Say it is going to hit Visakhapatnam. So the same place was evacuated. Another place where big data is getting used heavily is military and intelligence. I'm sure guys, all of you know that White House has invested $100 billion in big data. They are tracking each and every movement. Say for example, from satellites, there are spy satellites, there any movement from over the emails, there is any suspicious activity, there is any suspicious terrorist activity. They are analyzing each and everything so that they can take immediate action. Let's talk about few use cases. So guys, some of these use cases I have worked for some of my clients. This is a very important use case. Application. This is an application for leading retail client in India. So guys, my client is getting 100 GB of invoice data daily. 100 GB, not really very huge, but yeah, it's a big volume. If I talk, it's a daily. The data is in XML format. Now the requirement is they need to, by the way, this is an invoice data. They need to transform this data into structured format so that they can load this data into RDBMS. They can load this data into, and I should say, warehouse. Now this transformation involves very complex validation, very complex verification, and lots of business rules. When I visited them, they are facing these issues. What issues? The time taken to process this data was 10 hours. They had their own solution in conventional approach. They have their own solution in C and Perl. So guys, time taken to process this data was 10 hours. That's huge. At 3 AM, they are getting the data from their stores, and it takes another 10 hours to generate the insights. That's huge. What their business want, they want early alerts. Say for example, early morning, if they can get alerts at say 7 or 8 AM, if they can get an alert, what was the sales in their stores, or what was the sales region wise or overall sales. So guys, when I visited them, their requirement, what they were expecting is, if I can reduce this 10 hours to 5 hours, that would be great. So then guys, when we develop the same solution in big data, using the big data approach, we develop a solution in Hadoop, we develop the solution in MapReduce. Now guys, there was a big surprise for the retailer. Time taken to process the same volume of data was merely 10 minutes. It was merely 10 minutes. It reduced from 10 hours to 10 minutes on 10 node cluster. 10 node cluster is very small. On this small cluster, we reduce the size, we reduce this time from 10 hours to 10 minutes. So that's the power, that's the beauty of big data. Let's move to another use case. So guys, there's another very popular use case, that's Sears Holding. Sears Holding is using Hadoop to personalize their marketing campaigns. By the way, guys, these use cases are available on the Google also. You can go through for more details. Sears has 4,000 stores with millions of product and 100 million customers. And they have collected 2 petabytes of data so far. Now what's their problem? They are having their legacy system. They are having their conventional system, but their legacy systems are incapable of analyzing this large volume of data to personalize their marketing and loyalty campaigns. As I told you guys, these campaigns, these all their advertisements, campaigns, marketing, Everything is now getting personalized. For a specific user, the offer will be specific. Using the conventional approach, they were trying to analyze their data. They analyzed just 10% of customers' data for personalizing loyalty campaign on mainframes. Guys, I'm talking the name mainframes, Teradata, and SAS. Now, the processing time to analyze 10% of data is 6 weeks. Now, if it is taking 6 weeks to analyze the data, what about this last 6 weeks? What about last 1.5 months? This time, during this time period, if user has changed his mind, earlier he was daily buying say Amul product, now from last 4 weeks he was buying Britannia products. Your campaign is not valid. Then they migrated their solution to big data. They shifted to Hadoop. They deploy 300 node commodity cluster, 300 node cluster. Now guys, using the cluster, time taken to process 100% of customer data was merely 1 week. Earlier 10% in 6 weeks, now 100% in 1 week. Even this can also be reduced by increasing the number of nodes. If they make this nodes to double, the processing time will become half. Their interactive reports can be developed in 3 days instead of 6 to 12 weeks. They save millions of dollars in mainframe and RDBMS cost and got 50 times better performance. And they increase the revenues through better analysis of customer data. So guys, again, this is again a very big use case. Although it's a little old now, it is almost 2 years old. Let's talk about few more use cases. I'll cover this a little quickly as we are running out of time. Turn 12 terabytes of tweets created each day into improved product sentiment analysis. Guys, in US, people are very active on Twitter. So if any product is getting launched, if anybody is launching any product, say for example, even I have done a project for Disney for the same. So if Disney is launching any service, if they are launching any product, they will analyze their Twitter. They will analyze their Twitter handler, that what people are saying about them. If people are saying negative about them, if people are saying negative about their product, they need to take immediate action. Via sentiment analysis, we can analyze user sentiment. We can analyze user sentiment, what people are thinking, what people are saying, what people are writing about my product. Now guys, understand this carefully. If today I am launching a product, how will I come to know about the success of the product? How will I come to know about the success of the product? Why my sales figure? And how much time will it take? At least 6 months. At least 6 months. Now understand it. It is taking 6 months for me to know whether it is a successful or a failure. But 6 months is very late. Instead of that, if I come to know in just merely 5 days, 4 days or 3 days that what people are saying about my product, it would be very good for my business because I can take immediate action. So guys, sentiment analysis is very helpful for the same. So today if I am launching a product, from the same day people start tweeting, people start writing to social media whether they are liking this product or not. Now from those social media data, I can analyze and I can find out what people are saying about my product. Whether they are saying positive, so what positive, negative, what negative. So say for example, when we analyze, by the way, for the Disney's data for their product, we found 70% people were saying positive about that product, and after 6 months the business confirmed the same thing from their sales figures also, that it was a big hit, big success. Let me cover a few other use cases a little fast. Turn billions of customer complaints to analyze root cause of customer churn. So guys, as we know, currently all customer facing industries are facing this issue of customer churn. Now to find out the issue of customer churn, the best way is to find out via customer complaints. So if I give you the example of TTSL, one of my client, they were getting, they overall they got billions of customer complaints. Now to analyze customers complaints, billions of customer complaints, it's really very challenging. So Hadoop big data solution need to be used for the same. Analyze customers searching and buying pattern and show them advertisement of attractive offer in real time. By the way guys, I'm sure all of you know about this. By the way, if anybody really have observed that if you are searching for a mobile phone or Google, just after a few minutes only you will get the advertisement of the same mobile phone. Any of you? You can, by the way, answer in the question forum. You can ping on the question forum. Just wanted to see how many of you really have seen the same. Google is using it. Okay. I think all of you, yeah, many of you know this, have observed the same. So today I'm searching for a Dell laptop. From just very next few minutes I'm going to get the advertisement for the Dell laptop, or even from this competitor also. So guys, this advertisements today are very highly content driven. Another interesting use case, millions of credit card transactions done each day. We need to identify the potential fraud in real time. We have discussed the same thing in great detail. Another very popular use case of big data is 2012 US presidential elections. Obama won the election due to big data. Obama has analyzed all his speeches. Say for example, at any point of time, say for example on a particular day Obama is giving a speech in New York. After giving his speech, he crawled the complete web and analyzed what people are saying about his speech, whether they are saying positive, negative, today, tomorrow, 2 day, 3 day, 5 day, a week. He was analyzing the same. And if negative, what negative? Say for example, his some comment about the Iraq is negative. He take the corrective action in his next speech. He also analyzes the same thing by the geographical location. Say what people are thinking in California, what people are thinking in New York, New Jersey, what people are thinking in China, India. So guys, by the way, a very nice case study is available on the Google. I recommend all of you to go through that. As we are running out of the time, so let me go ahead a little fast. So guys, these are the components of Hadoop that's called Hadoop ecosystem. The base component is the HDFS. That's Hadoop Distributed File System. That's used for the storage of data. MapReduce, as we have seen, that's for the processing of the data. We need to write Java code in the MapReduce. Hive and Pig are the top level components. In the Hive, we can write SQL query. Hive will convert that SQL query into MapReduce job. So for the guys who don't know Java, they can use SQL queries also with the help of Hive. For the guys who don't know SQL query and Java and who are the script lovers, they can write their scripts in Pig. And the Pig will convert their scripts into MapReduce job. Even we have a very popular NoSQL in Hadoop family, that's Hbase. Hbase is a NoSQL database. It's a column-oriented database. Now, from the perspective of ETL, we have two components. One is the Sqoop and second is the Flume. Sqoop for the transfer of the data between RDBMS and Hadoop, and Flume for the collection of data from n number of sources, like from flat file system, from another process, another n number of systems. We have also got a workflow manager, that's Oozie. Apart from these components, guys, we have also got yarn, that is yet another resource negotiator. That's also has been added in Hadoop recently. So we are going to cover all such components during our training. Let's go ahead. Let me quickly read this for you. There are a few IDC forecasts about the future of Hadoop. So guys, IDC predicts that big data market revenue will grow at 31% a year, reaching 23 billion mark in 2016. Another IDC forecast suggests that big data market will grow at 27% compound annual rate to reach $32 billion by 2017, which is 600% more than overall information technology and communication technology market. That's really huge. Now let's quickly talk about the careers in Hadoop. So guys, the companies who are hiring for Big Data and Hadoop, if I talk about IT companies, Infosys, Accenture, IBM, TCS, Wipro, Cognizant, HCL, all companies are now hiring and working for Big Data and Hadoop. If we talk about analytics outsourcers, companies like Mu Sigma, Fractal Analytics, Absolute Data, Latent View, Genpact, WNS, retailers, Reliance, Walmart, Sears, Tesco, Carrefour, and so on. Consultants, PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, McKinsey, all of them are hiring for Hadoop and Big Data. These are just the big names that I have put. So almost nowadays it's like more than 90% of the companies are working on the Big Data and Hadoop. If I talk in terms of domain, in the financial domain, Citibank, SBI, HSBC, ICICI, and so on. From telecom, Airtel, Reliance, Vodafone, Idea, TTSL. From healthcare, Novartis, Dr. Reddy's, Ranbaxy, Cipla. From e-commerce, it's Amazon, PayPal, Flipkart, Snapdeal, eBay, and so on. So guys, if we talk about the job roles, these are the specialized job roles in Hadoop. The very first job role is Hadoop Architect, whose job function is to design, manage, and provide end-to-end big data solutions. And the skills required for Hadoop Architect is almost all the skills. That's HDFS, MapReduce, Hive, Hbase, Pig, Oozie, Sqoop, Flume, Java, Linux, NoSQL, etc. And guys, the experience level for Architect is 8+ years of experience, 12+ years. If we talk about Hadoop developers, the job function for them is to develop applications in MapReduce. They need to develop applications in MapReduce. And the skills required for them is MapReduce, HDFS, Hive, Java mainly. And they should have the knowledge of all other technologies like Hbase, Pig, and all. Experience level for them is 0 to 5 years. Guys, now the industry, earlier if I talk about 2012, people were not hiring freshers. Now companies have started hiring freshers also for Hadoop. By the way, there are few guys who attended the training in the previous batch. They are placed in top company. One of the guy, even there are lots of cases, is placed in Morgan Stanley. The companies like Morgan Stanley, Mu Sigma, and all. Hadoop Administrator, another job role, whose work is to manage Hadoop cluster and database system and design the pipelines. His major skills required for him is Hadoop, Linux, network management, and hardware skills. Again, the experience level is 0 to 5 years. For Hadoop Analyst, his job function is to analyze large amount of data and bring out the insights. The skills required for him is Hive and SQL. And experience level is 0 to 5 years. So guys, in Hadoop there are what should I say, the combination with the Hadoop ecosystem, it is making all the guys happy. Say for example, if you know Java, yes, there is a Java front. If you know SQL, there is a SQL front. If you know script, there is a script front. If you know ETL, there is a ETL front, and so on. So guys, learn Hadoop. It's the future. Start now before it's late, and you can join us to grow your career. What is the end result of doing this course? Guys, the objective for our course is to make the candidate employable in Big Data and Hadoop industry. During the sessions, we are mostly dealing with the workshops so that you'll gain the practical knowledge. You'll gain the practical skills. We are going to show you the actual practical problems that we already have seen in the industry. We are going to show you the practical cases, the actual use cases, the actual scenarios rather than theoretical knowledge. During the training, you will be working on n number of POCs and a real live project. Even you can also update your CV and you can add POCs as well as project also. By the way, as Radhika already told, we are having our another vertical as staffing and placement. So you can also get the job assistance from us. So guys, that's it from my side. If I'm open for questions. By the way guys, for today's session you are put it on the mute, but in the actual session you can speak like I'm speaking. You can stop me at any point of time. You can ask as many questions as you want. So guys, if anybody is having any questions, any doubts, you can ping on the question forum. Vijay is saying it was a very nice session. Thank you, Vijay. Hope to see you in the training sessions. Monica is asking how will we do the practicals. So guys, regarding the practicals, you can actually it is recommended to deploy a virtual machine. I'll guide you to deploy a virtual machine on your system, and you can simply do all the practicals, all the assignments at any point of time offline, and you can finish the same. You'll be having your virtual box ready. And regarding the cluster, real cluster, we are going to use AWS, Amazon Web Services, Amazon Cloud. Suresh is asking, is it mandatory for Java skill for Hadoop? Suresh, for Hadoop Developer, it is mandatory, but don't worry, we are having a Java trainer. We are having Java recorded sessions, Java training sessions, that is Java Essentials for Apache Hadoop. We are going to provide you for the same. Okay, Suresh Kumar. Suresh P is saying nice session. Thank you. Thank you, Suresh. Another question. I'm not from Java background. Can I learn Hadoop? Yes, you can surely learn Hadoop. So guys, as I told you, there are multiple fronts. Say for example, if you are from SQL. By the way, from which front you are? Okay, you are from admin. So there is a front that's Hadoop Admin. There is a job role that's Hadoop Admin. You can go for Hadoop Admin, and that won't need any Java knowledge. If you are from SQL background, you don't need SQL. You can simply need just SQL skills and you can work from the Hive. Leela is asking when the course will begin. Leela, just a minute, let me go to that slide. Yes. So guys, the session, the batch will start from weekday batch will start from 8th December. That would be Monday to Friday, 9:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. IST. And a weekend batch will start from 6th December. That would be Saturday, Sunday, every Saturday, Sunday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. IST. Suresh Kumar is asking, I have no job experience till now. If I learn Hadoop, at what extent job opportunities for me? Suresh, currently, let me give you my example. When I was working with when I was working with Sigma, when I was working with the leading analytics firm, I have taken 65 interviews in last 2 months. Means there is a shortage of talent like anything, and I have selected only 6 guys from them. Out of 65, just 6 guys, because I didn't got the right candidates. There was a requirement of more than 100 candidates. Currently the market is very positive, very up. Even in India also. In India there is a huge requirement. So if I compare it with the other technology, say today if you want 10 guys of Hadoop or 10 guys of Java, you will easily get 1000 guys. And if you want 1000 guys of Hadoop, you will easily get, it would be very tough for you to get 10 guys. That's the requirement. And even I was hunting for really good guys in my previous org, and even we are also hiring for our own big data venture. So job market is really very positive, and if you join the global players like TCS, Infosys and all, you will easily get the on-site opportunities. They are hiring for US also. Ashwini is asking, nice session. I'm from Oracle PL SQL development background, so I should go for Hadoop Analyst. But how I can understand with the same course outline, as you have MapReduce also in the same course outline. I'm not familiar with Java. Ashwini, yeah, you can go for Ashwini. Since you are from PL SQL, you are having two choices for you. The very first choice will be surely Hadoop Analyst. In Hadoop Analyst, the course outline will be similar, just you can remove the MapReduce from the course outline. But since you are from PL SQL development only, you can come for Hadoop development also. So say for example, there is 100 jobs for Hadoop Analyst and 200 for Hadoop Developer. So you will be eligible for 300 jobs. You can apply for that. That will increase your demand in the market. But if you ask me, what will I suggest you? You should go for Analyst. But there is an option for you for Developer as well. Ramu Paduri is saying, nice session, sir. Thank you, Ramu. Mohan is asking, will you share the recorded session? Mohan, if you are asking for this recorded session of this demo, yes, this recorded session will be shared with you. You'll get a mail for the same. And regarding our actual training session, as and when, say for example, if today we have taken a batch, and today night only, you will get the recording of the same day. So you will be getting the recording of all the sessions. Okay. You will be getting lifetime access of the recordings. Means it will be available for you forever. It will be for you only. Akshay is asking, will you provide study material? Yes, Akshay, complete study material will be provided to you. You are going to get all the PPTs, you are going to get all the manuals, you are going to get all the documents, you are going to get even all the codes also, like the code that we are going to use for the POCs, practicals, workshops, and even for the project code also you'll get. Suresh Kumar is saying, myself 2013 pass out BTech, so this gap is suffering a lot to get job. So I have Hadoop skills, then can I get interview calls? Suresh, I totally agree. Due to a gap in your career, there will be lots of issue. But since Hadoop is a very niche skill, and there is a huge demand of Hadoop in the market, you can easily fulfill this gap. You can easily, means being a Hadoop developer, you can easily overcome this issue. And our level of the training will be very high. You can add even up to 6 months, 1 year experience also in your profile, because you can add those workshops, you can add those practicals, you can add those POCs and projects also in your profile that we are going to do in the sessions. And for Suresh Kumar, I would recommend you to, you can once you finish your training, you can contact Radhika for the job assistance also. She can help you in that. We are, by the way, we are having one of our vertical as a staffing and placement as well. Mohit is asking, it was a nice session, I want to register, how can I? Mohit, you can drop a mail to Radhika. Oh, okay, let me show you. Okay, you can drop a mail to info@dataflair.com. It's on the right bottom of your screen. Suresh Kumar is saying, thanks a lot, you make me peak confidence, nice session to use. Thank you, Suresh. Vaku Juice is saying, thanks for the session, I work as a product owner, would like to explore big data analytics, what should be the best path? So if you can, Vaku, you can give me a little more information about what product owner you are and what type of work you are doing currently. What's your just a little bit more information so that I can help you. Meanwhile, let me take another question. Leela is saying it was a nice session. Thank you. From where you are teaching us? Leela, my location, current location is Mumbai, and your all the sessions will be online. Regarding the online session, the main plus point is you can attend from anywhere. You can attend from any device, and the most important feature is that you'll get the recording of all the sessions. What is the software requirements for Hadoop? Ramu, all the required software will be provided to you. So since Hadoop and its ecosystem are open source, everything, all the complete link and everything will be provided to you from our side. So you don't need to worry. What is system requirement? Okay. Regarding the system requirement, just 2+ GB RAM would be sufficient, as we are going to create a virtual machine on your system, and at least 512 kbps speed is mandatory, means it's recommended. Suresh Kumar is saying, if I miss any class, what I can do? Suresh Kumar, if you miss any class, there are multiple options. Say for example, today it's 24, if you miss today's session, on the same day recording will be available. You can attend that recording, and there is another option, you can attend the missed part in weekend batch also. So even if there is a morning batch running, you can attend in that. Based on your availability, you can attend the missed part. Paco is saying, expertise needed from my role would be to understand ecosystem and content of work, connected products. Paco, how much experience do you carry? Just last question from my side so that I can recommend you right away. Okay, 16+. Vaku, you should be having the knowledge of complete ecosystem, and regarding you to start big data analytics, actually 16+ years, very nice big experience you are handling, and the expectation from your side, means from the industry for you, will be really high. Okay, you are from the Linux and embedded system. Okay, so for you, I would recommend you to go for an architect role. So you should be having the knowledge of developer plus admin plus analyst. That is recommended for you. By the way, guys, during our session, we are going to cover the concepts of admin as well as analyst also. So guys, if you have any other queries, any other questions, you can drop a mail to info@dataflair.com, and By the way, I'm one of the co-founder of DataFlair, and we are developing some really big products also. We have started the same. So for the students and for the people who are seeking the job, based on your performance, we might offer you to get a working chance to work with us also. And for the students, we are offering internships also, by the way, if anyone is a student there. I think Suresh Kumar, you can also get a chance for internship. You can. Alright guys, thanks so much for attending. If you have any further queries, you can contact at info@dataflair.com. Hope to see you in the session. Thanks so much.